Today, we're joined by Victor Pellerin, the creative mind behind the brand Rêveur Lucide. Victor is a designer with a background in architecture. His journey from architecture to fashion reflects a unique ability to merge functionality with artistic vision. As the founder of the brand, he is passionate about sustainability, storytelling, and creating pieces that evoke both purpose and emotion. Victor invites us into his brand new Parisian atelier and storefront, a space where traditional techniques, restored vintage machines, and contemporary design come together to redefine modern Parisian craftsmanship. Join us as he walks us through his design philosophies and creative process, as well as his story of how he went from being a small brand to being able to open up a flagship store in Paris. Welcome. Who are we here with today?
With Rêveur Lucide. I'm Victor, I'm the creative designer, and I've opened the brand for like 4 years now. And this is our first location for the store.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations. You just opened this up this week.
Yeah.
New store in Paris.
We did our opening evening on Saturday night. Had friends and family come through, and it was a great time. And here's our first day opening and really having people come through.
Yeah. How has this process been like to get to this point of like finally opening a store, physical store in Paris? Because obviously I can imagine it's way different than selling online.
Absolutely.
With the fact that you also have your studio right here, so you're able to work and create, but also present your clothing.
100%. To really give you a background, I started off in a garage kind of in the outskirts of Paris. That was my first studio, and it was really like just creation and being able to bang out the pieces and get stuff done.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I kind of won a contest with the city of Paris, which gave me access to a new studio space. Thank you. More closer to the center. And coming up to the end of my contract with that deal, I was actively looking for a new spot, a place to really be able to share and have people to be able to walk in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the clothes I make really need a place, something physical, being able to touch, being able to feel and try on, obviously. So I secured this place in early August, did the move, a little bit of works to set up all the place. Yeah. And then, it took us like 2 months to get all set up, and here we are.
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's been a journey.
It has been a journey. Yeah, definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that journey? What have, challenges and things that you have faced along the way, like the different steps of your journey?
For sure. Well, it all started off for me like a passion for menswear and making products that have like durability. Yeah. It started off with making products solely only in France, and we kept that way of things. Yeah. For me, it's really important. Like we have our factory that is literally a 5-minute walk from here. Yeah. So it's easy to really like just keep in contact, keep in touch, stay above with production. Yeah. And for me, it's really something that I want to keep on developing as we move forward, keeping this made in France, and having really that touch and that just revalorizing French manufacturing. Because I would say that for the past 20 years, like since the 80s or whatnot, like there's been a huge gap since Asia has expanded also as well. Yeah. And I feel like the facility has been for a lot of brands to kind of export their production, receive packages, and then drop them online or drop them in their stores. Yeah. But for me, it was really like, I'm passionate about the artisanal aspect also of making clothes, and really being able to have character that's put into it. Those little slight imperfections and those perfections as well, and the detail are all part of the process. So for me, being hands-on is so important.
Yeah. I can tell, like, even from your tags, like how tactical they look and feel, like just the...
Definitely. For the tags, it's a material that I developed now almost 3 years ago. Yeah. And it's been like constant evolution. So at first it was just the material with our screen print and reference of the fabrics.
Yeah.
But now we've encased that and made it to have herbs from the south of France, where I'm from. And every season we kind of evolve which herbs and different things we put in. But for me, we live in a world where everything is disposable. And I would say that having a tag like this, something a little bit different, will make you want to keep it, maybe have it in your cupboard, have it smell fresh of flowers, or as well, the option is to be able to brew a tea. So you would just like warm some water, put it in a cup, and it's a one-time use. Wow. But at the same time, you kind of get this double usage out of a tag. So that's always like a little fun factor when people like see the tags. They're like, oh, I've never seen this, or it touches the senses. So that's really important aspect.
From what I'm hearing, it's like this touching of the senses is super important to you.
Absolutely. Like from smell, touch, cut, like all of these pieces. And that's what's really was so important to me to make the store, is being able to share that and have something physical where people could walk in and we could have a base of exchange, and not just like being behind our computer and getting orders in and shipping it out. I love that as well, but there's less of a communication and closeness to our end clients. And for me, to better our products and to always be on top of everything, that exchange is so important. The feedback that we get from, like, I love this piece, but maybe the cut was a little bit different for me. And also that's a big point with the store, is really being able to make this made to order. And just made to measure specifically. You'll come in and be like, hey Vic, like I really love this jacket, but I am absolutely fond of this fabric. Could we switch it up and make a kind of Frankenstein of both pieces? And that's really like what I really want to bring in with the store, is those custom orders and kind of making the client part of the design room as well.
Yeah, co-creation with the community itself.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we've talked before, and I've seen that your inspirations are very much all around, not just in fashion.
Absolutely.
You also tend to look into furniture, designing a piece for yourself, which congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Can you tell me a little bit about this piece and how it came to be?
For sure. Well, for me, everything derives from the concept of that we're making clothes. And I would say that my background in architecture really made me a fan of just like environments and being able to have something that's of use in your own space. And this is why I created Dresser Chair last year, where it's really like this concept of, we all have this chair at home, which kind of fills up once you're getting ready. And you know, there's like a pile of like, oh, I didn't want to wear this, and just flick it on a chair, and then it's just like a whole mountain. And I would say that I took this idea from back in like the Renaissance days or the King's days and Queens, where they would have kind of an item that was dedicated to every use. And their personnel would prepare their fits for the next day into like a specific closet, etc. And I approached it with a more contemporary idea, where I wanted to have something more compact to be able to fit into our everyday lives. And this is why I designed this chair, put materials that are significant to me: bronze, oak wood, and as well celestite stones, which are minerals and have virtues to enhance your lucid dreams and bring clarity to your life. So it made sense to put those in first place. And for me, that chair was really like this thing that you prepare your fit for the next day, tie on your shoes, and head out for your day.
You mentioned a background in architecture. Tell me more about that.
For sure. Well, I studied in Paris architecture. Now I graduated in 2018. And straight away, I went into the world of fashion as an assistant stylist. So I was always picking up clothes, having like clients who we were getting dressed for events or things like that. And at one point, like, I truly understood that I had this passion for telling stories and making something of my own. And slowly, I designed my first pieces, got in touch with a factory when I was in California. At that point, did my first samples, let's say. And the moment I got back to Paris, there was really like this spark that had gone into my mind where I was like, we need to do things that are coherent and make sense with my values and have product that really tell a story. So it really like all engaged from that point of being able to do things that are just durable and make sense and you can keep in your closet. And for me, I see clothes like a good wine in a sense. Like you'll keep it, you'll wear it in this sense, obviously for the clothes. And with time, the little scuffs, the little discolorations that occur through you wearing them and making it truly your own, I think that's really when the piece shines the most. It's not when you get it off the rack and it's like all perfect and new. It's really when you've brought your own character to it. And for me, that's like really an important part of the process. It's just like being able to wear it out and making it your own.
Its own patina.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can tell from the mood board behind you that like, there's all sorts of different patinas and they transfer onto the clothing itself. I can also tell that you kind of have this fascination with the past, or I don't know if that comes from your background in architecture and seeing things or much of their lifetime into being like much broader than just like a single
You're hitting
thing.
a really good point, is that buildings are made to last like decades or hundreds of years. Like we're around Paris, like the 5th neighborhood, and it's one of the oldest neighborhoods in Paris. And I feel like it was really also something that made sense for me. It's just like this durability and things being able to withstand through their time. And that's where really I inspire myself from architecture, is the fact that like you'll have a building that's like brand new, like a Zaha Hadid like building where it's glass and curves and it's shiny and like perfect in a sense because it's recent architecture. And then you'll contrast it with this typical Latin architecture from the 1800s where there's patina on the wall, just the years of rain and sun have like not damaged, but in a sense for me, embellished the building. And that's where I inspire myself for treatments and materials, and even as well cuts, where this season we've aborted, like we've went through the asymmetric feeling of clothes where one side will have a pocket, one side will have a different cutout, or same for the pants as well. And for me, this collection is named actually Echo of Time, where we not want to create something brand new and out of the ordinary. We inspire ourselves from the past, the like durability of war garments that were for menswear back in the day, and really put it in and refine it to make it something new today and bring our own twist to it.
Can you show me how these inspirations have transferred onto your collection?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. So, for example, this season, we've worked with a lot of parachutes. It's decommissioned parachutes from the French Army that have been cut and redone. We have a couple items that are done this way. We also have this pants where you'll get the cutouts of the parachute and it's a bit random. Like there's no 1 or 2 pants that will look exactly the same. And that's the nature of the material.
When you mentioned armor, and this like knee very much
exactly
shows that, as well as like this piece right here.
Exactly.
It very much feels like armor that.
And to tell you, this is one of our oldest fabrics in the collection. So obviously, like there is some pieces that are made to be a one of one in a sense. This is from a Second World War tent. So really like it's been through it. It's been through the sun. It's been through the wet and just weathered. And that's really what gives it this unique patina out of it as well.
You can't fake this patina. Like
you can't.
There's a lot of brands that try to, and it's like with different washes, and it's really something that only time can.
Because you'll see we have treatments as well. Like for example, here where it's kind of a burnt feeling to the black fabric, where it makes it rusted in a sense. But
it's with bleach.
This is done with potassium.
Okay.
So bleach would really make it red orangish, And the potassium, it's a mix of potassium and water that gets this effect. So obviously you dose it depending the fabric.
Yeah.
And this, to give you an example, obviously is treated from new. So the patina comes out a different way as well, obviously.
Yes, it does. Wow. Beautiful. This look right here was crazy to me.
For the bag here, same. It's recycled from the inside of the parachute, where it's like the pull of air that goes into it, and we just kind of made our bag slash put everything in.
Yeah,
and
it's really cool.
These are done without a pattern. It's just really like fully just cutting on the feeling.
Yeah.
So for these, we'll again, not one will be exactly the same like the other, obviously.
Some upcycling.
Exactly.
I'm really interested in your mood board here, because you can see like the Le Corbusier church here is super
for sure
interesting. The Andy Warhol, I think he's in Japan there?
Yeah. I'm really a fan of modern architecture, like really that modern movement which started in the 20s and 30s, especially Le Corbusier. I'm a fan of his work because he's one of the pioneers who really like launched and really after war made everybody kind of in a new sphere of design and taste in architecture. So I really take a lot of inspo from his works to create garments out of them, because I love to take references that are far-fetched from just clothes themselves, you know? So it's like, again, we were talking about the patina of a wall after years and years. So same, like you visit this church these days, it's embellished with time, in my opinion, and it's really like got that patina. So that's what I love.
Especially being here in Paris, I could tell like Le Corbusier can be a big inspiration for a lot of people.
For sure.
I also see some like very old like war garments and like.
So to give you the example, this was for the bomb squad back in the days, and the reference is originally taken from here, which brought us to our new, more modernist design approach.
So it's this?
And exactly, it's this vest, the same as you pulled out with the brown one, but this is a leather that has been treated to have this kind of crunched effect. So it's stuck with some extra thermo on the inside to give it structure, and then it's washed after. So again, you kind of get a small patina that comes out of it, and this is a nubuck as well. So it kind of had this softness to it.
Yeah, the color's beautiful.
So bringing something that's from war, but making it more actual, more elegant, something that can definitely be worn today. So
Thinking back to your like 4 years since you started this brand, and to this point where you're now like opening a store here in Paris, what advice would you give to your younger self, like that was starting out?
What advice I would give myself is get the most experience you can before doing anything, because sometimes I've had to pay the hard price of like having to figure it out myself. And once the more you get experience from others and maybe a mentor or somebody who you really look up to, and seeing how their way has evolved them to be in the position they are today, for me is one of the steps that's like really crucial for a younger designer, is really like being able to learn the most you can before doing mistakes yourself, in a sense. But at the same time, when you do mistakes, you learn a lot. So yeah, it's really just being curious, looking a lot around you, seeing what's done, and bringing your own twist to it. For me, like that's really like the biggest advice I would give to my younger self, is just look around, make sure you're aware, listen to people, don't listen to everyone, because sometimes it'll mix around your head and you won't get the right mindset. But yeah, just be curious and look more and more and more, and you'll know more. That's really like my main, it's not the most deep comment, but at the same time, I feel like it has a lot of value, and it's not to be forgotten.
No, it's true. You can learn so much from someone else, and
absolutely,
it's almost this idea of like you can learn on someone else's money. Because
in a sense,
when you're doing it, when you're jumping into doing it yourself, like you're learning
it's
on
your
own money. And
exactly.
And that's like a little bit more pressure, like
For sure.
on
There,
your
it's
shoulders.
a lot more pressure.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, if there was one more point that I could add to my younger self is, I would say, go into depth of precise subjects and don't try to be there and there and there at the same time. You know, it's like pick your thing and obsess over one thing and really like get that thing down, and then you can move on to the next step, or have people around you and surround yourself with people who will do it better than you.
Yeah.
So it's all about knowing what you can bring really to the table, and surrounding yourselves also with a team that can bring you further and further.
Beautiful. Yeah, you mentioned that you also have your studio down here.
Yeah.
Is it possible to take a look, talk a little bit more about your process and how?
For sure. Come down with me. Let's have a look.
Awesome. Is this just you and him, or?
No, so today is a bit calm because all the team is resting from this weekend and last week, because we had just a lot going on. Yeah. So we have 2 sewers who come in and also get some work done. I myself, I'm in a sense the production manager, making sure that all the pieces are done and delivered at the right time. Yeah. And I oversee a lot of things. I do a lot of cutting. Every piece that comes out of the factory is definitely quality checked by my own eyes. Yeah. So yeah, I really get touch. And at the same time also, I'll show you our tags in a bit, where every piece is just has a number. It's done out of a series. Right. So there's always this tracking, and I know when you come back, or if it's been like resold to another hand, I know where originally it came from. So I think it's a nice little aspect also to keep this track on the pieces, and it valorizes them a little more as well.
How important do you think is to have this type of control over your production system?
It's the most important. Like out of all the points, I would say like being able to have control of my own production is the most important out of them all, because it really like, it takes a lot to be able to handle productions, because there's a lot of moving parts to a final garment. Yeah. But I would say that there's nothing smoother than being able to run it all yourself, because you're not waiting on a sample that comes and you've designed a month ago. Yeah. Like we can create something in the morning, and by the end of the day, close the studio, and we have at least an idea that's somewhat close to the final result.
Of course, yeah.
So I would say that there's absolutely no price that can be put to that. Like, it's the biggest, how can I say, it's the biggest freedom. Yeah. It's the biggest freedom we can have.
It's an advantage that's very strong. I mean, because a lot of times working with manufacturers, there's this almost problems with communication that can happen.
For sure.
There's this ignoring, like sometimes big factories, if you don't have big orders, they'll ignore you and
put you last into
put you last and give you your order like way later.
100%.
And even if you have like stores that you need to give the clothes to, and then
it breaks through your whole schedule for the year. So that's really such an important aspect. Obviously here, like we don't have all our main machines, but I, again, being obsessed not with the past, but just quality manufacturing from the past. I've bought machines like the Union Special from the 60s to make the denim, etc. Like all these machines kind of have been eradicated from France, because these days manufacturing is very small portion of how it used to be. So a lot of factories back in the 80s that shut didn't know where to put their machinery. So I got into this plan like a couple of years ago, where I met with a guy who used to have an old factory, and we purchased all the machines from him and reinstalled them into our production unit.
Wow.
So yeah, so we're able to really make quality denim, quality pieces, how they were done back in the day as well. With the new advancements of like laser cutting or things like that, like where we mix both options to really create our own way of process.
That makes so much sense with this idea that you want to keep this made in France. You want to keep this like, because I don't know, from my experience, that is more of a common mentality in Italy, that they want to keep it like super made in Italy. In France, I haven't heard of that so much.
True.
So it's a fresh perspective.
There's few brands today who really do their whole production in France. I like, obviously what sparks is like those luxury brands like Hermes, etc., you know, who really pride on actually having French savoir-faire and know how to make exactly stuff that they could never replicate anywhere else. So I guess it's the same that goes for us. I think there's a lot of the pieces that we put out that would not be replicatable if we did them somewhere else. So that's also part of the ethic of the brand, to really keep that going for as long as we can. I don't know if I mentioned to you, but all these pairs are done through 3D printing.
Wow.
And then we managed to develop this patina this last year, where we again go back into this concept of things that have aged and things that have been used to pop that out. And for me, the cut of these lenses was really like inspired from like the 90s, the 80s, like where Oakley was at the peak of like development, you know? And then we brought our own touch, especially with the technology as well, the patina.
Yeah, these are cool. Yeah, definitely. I thought they were Oakleys when I saw them over there, and that's why I didn't like mention them. But yeah, these are super cool. I like the fact that like it comes out.
Claws. Yeah.
It definitely has like kind of almost insect vibe.
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Very nice.
Thank you.
So, what does the future look like for you? Yeah.
For me, I mean, it's really a new chapter that just opened, and I'm eager to see what is gonna roll out these next couple of months. How the feeling of just being able to have people who walk in and exchange, and for me, that's something I'm very passionate about, like really having this exchange and being able to explain the story of the brand. So for me, this next chapter is really also about having a real space, being fixed, and establishing ourselves as something real. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much.